On July 19th, Spain and Argentina will play for the World Cup. The world will be watching. Entire nations will stop functioning, and people who cannot explain offside will suddenly become tactical philosophers. Which is remarkable, because the first time Spain was invited, it decided the World Cup was not worth crossing the Atlantic for. That tournament exists because one stubborn French lawyer refused to accept no as an answer. His name was Jules Rimet. In 1930, he finally got his chance, the first FIFA World Cup, Uruguay. Small problem, almost nobody wanted to come. The British associations said no, Italy said no, Germany said no, Spain said no, Austria said no, Hungary said no. Jules looked at the guest list for the greatest party in sports history. It was almost entirely empty. This was the sporting equivalent of sending out 500 wedding invitations and getting 6 replies, 3 of which were maybes. The reason was brutally simple: the ocean. Uruguay had incredible football. Unfortunately, it was across the Atlantic. In 1930, crossing that ocean was not a trip. It was a relationship. 2 weeks at sea, on a boat, with your rivals. Most European federations looked at the map, looked at the ocean, and decided they were busy that summer. Then Uruguay made an offer. Travel paid, hotel covered. Just please come. The host country was paying the guests to attend its own party, and somehow 4 European teams said yes. France, Romania, Belgium, Yugoslavia. 4 out of the entire continent. But for Jules, 4 was enough. Because the problem was never the tournament. The problem was the word world. Without Europe, it was not a World Cup. It was a very well-organized American championship. So he got on the boat anyway. France, Romania, and Belgium crossed together. And because there was nothing else to do, they trained on the deck. Rival nations doing passing drills in the middle of the Atlantic. Imagine the French goalkeeper watching Romania practice penalties, smiling, on a boat. And somewhere below deck, Jules carried the World Cup trophy, in a bag. Not a secure case, a bag. Today, there are security protocols. In 1930, there was Jules, with a bag on a boat. Then 12 teams arrived in Uruguay. The stadium was still not finished. Workers were completing the stands while the football was already happening. Then came the final. The referee, John Langenus, had one condition: a police escort and a clear escape route back to his ship. And honestly, Langenus had a point. More than 30,000 Argentine supporters crossed the River Plate to Montevideo. Only about 1/3 had tickets. Spectators were searched at the gates for guns and other weapons. Tickets, please. Guns, also please. And midfielder Luis Monti had received death threats. So Jules said yes to Langenus's request. At that point, nothing surprised him anymore. The Centenario was packed with nearly 90,000 spectators. Uruguay versus Argentina. Before kickoff, the teams argued over which ball to use. So Argentina's ball was used in the first half, and Uruguay's in the second. Even the football required diplomatic negotiations. Uruguay won 4-2. Back in Buenos Aires, demonstrators threw stones at the Uruguayan consulate. The first World Cup ended with a champion, a pitch invasion, and an international incident. Very efficient. Against all available evidence, the first World Cup worked. The idea survived. Then it grew and grew. Today, the World Cup feels inevitable. It was not. And now, 96 years later, Spain, the country that ghosted football's first global party, will face Argentina, the country whose first final ended with a pitch invasion, flying stones, and a diplomatic incident. History has a sense of humor, and apparently, a very long memory.